I have put in our ordinance. If it's a billboard, if it's a flyer, if it's anything, this road decommissioning. That they put so much money in every month. And it gets to a certain point.
Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3.
Then it stops and it sits there in that escrow.
It's 6.
And it's like,
Come on, Justin.
Justin.
Justin. Catherine.
Was it they're financially stable enough that they can take care of it?
You ready, Luke? How are you, man? Good. How are you? Good. All right. Y'all ready?
Fine.
I'm ready. Sarah, we ready? You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Y'all good? All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and call the September Planning Commission meeting to order. We're going to start off with our normal housekeeping item here, a request to review and approve the minutes for last month's meeting. Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
I'm going to be approved.
I second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the August meeting. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right, item number 2, we have a request to table, tabled at the August 26th meeting, a request to review approve the large-scale development for Innovation Industries Incorporated at 3500 East Main Street, submitted by Dave Garza. We're still on track to table that for this tonight? Okay. Commissioners, I do need a motion and a second to approve the tabling of this item here.
So moved.
All right.
Who was that?
Luke.
Luke?
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Jack Moore, second. All right, we've got a motion and a second to table item number 2 here till next month. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Item number 3. Request to review and recommendation of approval for the special use permit to operate car lot for property located at East 2nd and South Verona, submitted by Robert Prohaska. Sarah, do you got a staff report on that one?
Yes, I believe you all received the staff report in your email from Laquita. Until today, all I had was the drawing that was submitted with part of the application. I had requested from the applicant to have a professional drawing by technical review, and that did not come in until today. Unfortunately, today I did not have a chance to review their drawing. You all have that drawing that was submitted. It was on my desk when I got to work this morning. So at this time, because I have not had a chance to really review the new drawing, I am recommending to table this item until the next Planning Commission hearing.
Okay. Commissioners, what's your pleasure? Mr. Prohaska, do you have anything did you want to say anything in regards to us tabling this item? You understand why we're having to table the item, right? I mean, us just getting it today?
I brought it actually Friday, but everybody was gone.
Oh. Okay. All right.
But I was told that I'd have to have it by Monday. Do my best to get it here by Friday.
Okay.
And if you don't have a copy of it, I had it.
We do. We've got copies of it now, but she hadn't had a chance to read it.
Basically, it's been C2 all these years. It's been a car lot all these years. I find it kind of ridiculous. I really had to apply for it because that was discount auto 15 years. And I've owned it since then. And we've had cars back there. We've used it for the same thing. And I have notified everybody. Everybody knows. So I don't see anybody here to complain about it. So I'd like to go ahead and approve it. I'll go ahead and start moving the building. Use the mic, guys.
Okay.
Use the microphone to approve it.
Sorry about that, Robert. I should have called you to a microphone. If you would, state your name for the record, please.
Sarah's right. They needed it.
State your name for the
Quita told
record,
me
sir.
by Monday.
State your name for the record, please.
Oh, Robert Prohaska. And she said she would need it by Monday. So I got it there. David Garza worked with me. And we put it together Friday, but I think everybody was off by the time I got there. So they're correct in the way it went. I'm just asking not to table it, since it's basically been a car lot for the last 30 years. And everybody's been notified, and I don't think anybody's ever filed a complaint.
Is there anybody here that objects to this at all? Anybody here that are going to stand against this being a car lot? I don't hear anybody objecting to you, Robert. Commissioners, do I hear, what's your pleasure here?
I've got a question on this part of it. I don't see any problem with it going through, but it's kind of, I think the process needs to be followed. Does it hurt you any, since it has been a car lot, to go ahead and start moving your stuff over there while this is being reviewed?
No, it wouldn't hurt me. I'm just gonna drop a portable building now until we build the new store. We were looking at, what it was the people that bought it from me, they delayed the closing. So everyone that I had lined up, we were actually moving the dealership, pulling the glass, lifting it, and moving it back. But because of them delaying it, all the people lined up to do it, it threw them off, and they couldn't do the dates that I needed. So yes, I mean, I just want to make sure that I can throw cars back there and sell them, but I don't mind if it takes longer to do anything at all.
You already own that property anyway, right?
Yeah, we own it, clear, free and clear, my property.
So if you were to be selling cars off of it anyway, then I don't guess anybody could say anything about it anyway, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
I mean, what we're reviewing is the building that you want, the new building that you want to build, correct?
Well, there's two ways. The one building is just moving the back one, if the new people will give me the time now. I put in a request today for them to give me a couple more weeks. Combs Moving was gonna lift it and put it in the back, but I had to get this approved before I could get the foundation dug. But if we didn't put the building I've got now, it would be a smaller building we would put in there, like a 30 by 30.
When does this affect the drainage in any way?
I don't think it was.
Wouldn't the building have to be approved?
Pardon me?
I mean,
I don't know. I've never done this before. This is my first time. I apologize. I don't know the procedures.
He'll be able to approve the process, and he's gonna have to hit a hard surface parking, he's gonna have to adhere to the building codes.
Okay.
Any of the zoning codes that would require, the car lot. be-
What about drainage? I mean,
I
drainage
mean,
is,
there'd be a drain, yeah, based on additional hard surface or even building is gonna require at least simplified and maybe an engineer, depending on how much property we're dealing with.
Yeah, on the people that are building on the front, Garza and them, Morgan, they have the plans, and to the back of the property would be the front of mine. They're building one of those drainage things for water runoff from the top towards the back. So that's already in the plans. That the people that are building that little drainage thing, and so that's why. But I'll do whatever it takes. I just want to be able to. I got to be out by Saturday, so I want to be able to put a few cars back there. And it's already asphalted. I mean, it's already been asphalt, the whole property. The whole, where the dealership would be, it's 120 by 150 of asphalt.
What does our code say while you're reviewing this? Since it has been a car lot and you put something temporary until this other works out, is that allowable under code now?
Was that a curveball, Sarah?
I mean, I think we need time to review it, but if there's an avenue to allow Mr. Prohaska to operate.
As far as what it really states in the code, there isn't necessarily we can allow them to operate until they have the special use permit. The table of permitted uses just says that it needs a special use permit. If it is the planning commission's desire to allow them to operate, I believe you could put potentially 90 days to go into compliance, maybe a letter of understanding that Mr. Prohaska then has signed and notarized so that we can move forward with allowing him to operate his business if it is the intent to approve the special use permit, of which I don't know that it's really something we need to necessarily deny, because he has used, or it is a auto sales on the front portion of the property, and he's just wanting to move it to the back portion of the property. However, a special use permit has never been issued for the property, so he's never gone through this process. I did talk with the city attorney prior to having him go through this process, because we thought if there had already been a special use permit issued to the property, then we wouldn't necessarily need to go through the process. However, since there had not been one issued that we have record of, he needed to go through this process. So I feel like the commissioners could go through a process to allow him, give him that 90 days to come into compliance as he works through this process. But I do think that there would need to be something, a letter or something of understanding between the applicant and the city. But I'm really speaking from my hip here, because there's nothing in the code that says that I can do that.
It's going to have to go on to the city council by resolution before anything can be done. The city council has to approve the special use.
Let me check with the city attorney real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, since we're shooting from the hip, let's keep in mind that Discount Auto, which was owned by Car-Mart, had that property as a car lot for about 12 years. So why there wasn't a special permit issued for Car-Mart or them, I don't know. But I just want to know that it was a car lot, there was a building there, and we took it away because it was obstructing us. I just didn't want you to think I was asking for something that wasn't already there.
Brian, do you see anything wrong with that? I mean, is there anything in your end of it that wouldn't comply?
Well, the only thing I would mention is you're selling the property,
I'm still in there.
because you're selling the property, and you're gonna subdivide, and you're gonna get a back piece, right?
Yes, I had almost 3 acres, and they bought the front 2, and I kept the back 120 by 300.
So it hasn't been used as a car dealership that was sometime in the past. The process has gone through.
And if you would allow me to talk, I did just talk with the city attorney and the city council. Laquita is correct. The city council is the only one that would be able to authorize them to even move forward with the permitting process. So you could recommend to the city council to allow them to move into the space, replace the building until they work through the special use permit. But the city council is ultimately the ones who authorize the special use permit. So do you think you would probably most beneficially work through the process? And I will concur with Brian, this part of the property has been vacant. So there has not been a car sales, auto sales use on that portion of the parcel currently.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. All right, commissioners, what's your pleasure? Do you have any questions for Sarah, for Mr. Prohaska?
Well, I think I think we have to follow the process after asking that. I mean, we have the rules and regulations in place, and I think ultimately it'll be approved on it. But if you know, if that's the city attorney's opinion and our planner with it, then we're talking another 30 days to move forward. I think we probably would need to follow that.
I agree, 100%. Okay, commissioners, what is your pleasure? You want to go ahead and
I'll make that in the form of a motion to table until review by planning for this project.
okay, we have a motion to,
If I might, is this my work?
yeah,
All right, if I might, just thinking through this, by the time the council meets again in October, Sarah will have had time to review the site plan and make a recommendation to the council for special use permit. So it sounds like it's gonna take that anyway, but I'm just saying that Sarah will probably be able to have the information available to the council in time for the council to take action to allow the special use permit.
Okay.
If it would help, I guess, be beneficial if the planning commission at least indicated that they don't have any issues with this.
right,
Then we can move on it at the next council meeting.
agree.
So I would amend the motion to
Luke, you can just make a motion to forward it on to the city council to
That-
review, and then Sarah can look at the plans, and that would move it up.
She'll have it reviewed by then.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I would amend my motion to move it to the city council for approval upon the recommendation of the city planner.
Okay, all right, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay,
I just want to thank Laquita and Sarah for helping me through this, and for y'all taking the time to listen.
thank you, Robert.
Have a blessed night.
All right. Item number 4. Request and review, recommendation for approval to amend the Russellville zoning code 1966 in regard to location of a commercial communications tower submitted by city planner Sarah Jundal. Sarah?
Good evening again. As I was going through and reviewing the code on this section of commercial communication towers, currently permits a height of 200 feet in an agricultural zone. However, when you look at the permitted uses, it does not actually permit communication towers in an agricultural zone. So upon my review, it looks like a scrivener's error, an omission, and so I'm just asking that we revise it to allow commercial communication towers within an agricultural zone.
Are we trying to approve is this a new process, or is this the existing process for locating a communication tower?
This is an existing process. As you'll see, the only thing that were changed are the red highlights, just adding,
Yeah, I saw that.
yes, agricultural zone. And so I would recommend that we forward this to City Council for their approval.
I had a question.
Yes, sir.
On the 318-4 abandonment, it says that if it's abandoned, that the owner is responsible for restoring its original condition.
Yes.
What if the owner goes bankrupt and there is no money to do that.
That's a great question. However,
Well-
that's currently in our code. That's currently the wording in that code. I can definitely look at that.
Well, then it looks like to me it would fall upon the city to,
It does. Number 2 takes care of that. The city can cause that to be removed at the owner's expense, and he may go bankrupt today, but we can still have the ability to sue if we need to recover the cost of removal.
well, I thought maybe a good way to fix that was put an escrow account. When they come in to build these tires, you put an escrow account in there that they put so much money in every month, and then at some point in time, you could release that money, but if you wanted to, you could keep it for decommissioning.
And that might be an item that we can address at a later time,
Yeah,
but
I just
as
have-
far as this one here tonight, though, it's
I know.
pretty
But
straightforward.
I just want to ask that question.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And Mr. Smith, that is something I can look at
Yeah,
if you would.
that'd be- To me, that's just,
That is a good question.
I don't want it to fall back on the city to have to.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Does anybody have any questions for Sarah before she steps in?
No, I have no questions at all other than that.
All right, commissioners, what is your pleasure?
So we're just saying that this will go into A1 agricultural area, is what we're saying.
That's what it, that's what it's.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right, item number 6. Okay, we have a request to nominate a member of the Planning Commission to serve on the Board of Adjustments to fill vacancy for Karen Yarbrough. Nomination will need confirmation by the City Council, of course. We need somebody from this commission to fill Karen's. We have at-large, we have 2 at-large members, and we have 2 Planning Commission members. We need 1 more Planning Commission member to fill her spot.
I think you skipped 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm lost here.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. All right, let me back up. Be thinking about what I just said. Okay, all right. Okay, we have a
You just want
request
to give them
to.
some prep time, didn't you?
Yeah, okay. Be thinking about who you're going to throw under the bus on that one. All right. Okay, we got to review and recommend the approval for amend the land subdivision and development code in regard to large-scale developments submitted by City Planner Sarah John Dahl. Sarah? take it away.
Hello, good evening again. This is really just to update the land development and subdivision code to reflect current practices that we have here at the city. Right now, we recommend and gently require developers to turn in stormwater according to ordinance 1675, but the code wasn't really updated to reflect that. And so my recommendation is to update the process or update the code to reflect the process that we currently do in the city. It's just for clarification. I did reorganize it so it's clear, but it did not change anything except for adding in the requirement for that ordinance 1675, which is by procedure what we currently do today.
We do appreciate all you're doing too, Sarah, by the way, just for the record.
Yes.
All right, Commissioners, what is your pleasure here?
I move be approved.
Luke, was that, Luke?
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay, now what I was talking about a while ago, we're going to request to nominate someone from the Planning Commission to serve on the Board of Adjustments to vacate Karen Yarbrough's position. This nomination will need confirmation by the City Council. Do we have any volunteers?
Hey, I just got on this one.
Larry Smith, did I hear you volunteer?
No, you
Did not? Okay. All right. Nobody? May have to appoint somebody here, guys. So-
I wouldn't care to do it if I can nominate myself, it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jackman?
I'll nominate Mr. Jackamore.
I second that.
Yeah, I will too.
You guys are a mess, I'll tell you. All right. We have a motion to appoint Commissioner Jackamore to the Board of Adjustments. And we have a second. Do we have a second?
I did.
Okay, all right. We have a motion and a second to appoint him to the Board of Adjustments, pending the City Council's approval. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. All right. Okay, we have a request to elect a vice chairman. We don't have a vice chairman to the Planning Commission. Commissioner Russenberger was our vice chairman. He did rotate off, or he did resign, and we need someone to fill that spot. Any volunteers? I do hear that they are going to double the pay of the vice chairman this year from last year, so. Nobody? Commissioner Smith, did I hear you volunteer for
No.
that? No?
I'm just getting my feet wet here. I'll be all right.
Your feet are already wet, Mr. Mayor, Mr.
Excuse me.
Commissioner. All right.
Commissioner Jackamore is on a roll. I would nominate him.
Yeah, I think that's a good
If he would serve, I would make that nomination, the
Okay.
recommendation.
And I would say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to appoint Commissioner Jackamore to the position of vice chairman. All those in favor acknowledge by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Jackamore.
It's a railroad
If there's no other business, we are adjourned. Here, can I turn this thing off now? Please?